What's going on? Day 1614. So yeah, man, tried something new today. A new meal, new breakfast, if you will. So I've got the, actually, hold on. Aha, you bastard. Right, so normally what I would do is I'd get something like this, or an equivalent from Linwood's. This one I think I've used previously, so hemp milled whole seed with flax and chia seeds, nice. So I'd normally get that and I'd put it in with some kefir yogurt, right? But then I had a thought. When I went to the section to obviously purchase that, I was in the section where like the kind of nuts are and these nuts. These nuts. Got him. Anywho, I went to the section where these nuts are, and also you had like the kind of like dried fruit and stuff. But there was also other things like dried fruits. But yeah, chia seeds, because that doesn't fall under dried fruit or nuts. I don't know what chia seeds are classed as. But then I thought, hold on, what about if I just, build my own little breakfast? So instead of, I mean, obviously, as you can see, I still bought a pack of, well, 2 packs of those that I normally have. But I picked up, oh yeah, seeds. That would also, I don't think chia seed, actually, I think, oh, there might be seeds, chia seeds. Clue's probably in the name. So I picked up some pumpkin seeds, some just chia seeds on their own, goji berries, which I've heard about for so long and I've never actually tried them, and some walnuts as well. It's supposed to be good for your brain health. And I thought, you know what, let me actually just try a big old, because I like mixing up stuff and trying mishmashes of things that may not look super appetizing or be the standard to put together. But I thought, yeah, let's give it a try. It's all healthy, right? So yeah, got me some, I was saying I was going to mix together with the kefir yogurt, put chia seeds in there, goji berries, pumpkin seeds, and crushed walnuts or chopped walnuts. And yeah, I thought, you know what, because I was watching this video the other day talking about how people eat chia seeds wrong, which I think I have been doing, because these packs that have chia seeds in them, often I'll put it in the yogurt and then almost eat it immediately, or maybe leave it for like 10-20 minutes. I think chia seeds, obviously, you should leave them in either like water or some type of liquid solution for at least a couple or a few hours, ideally overnight, so they can, absorb it and grow in size. Apparently it helps, once they are in that state, apparently it helps go through your body better, or helps you to digest or partially digest them more effectively. So I did that last night, that whole concoction. Tried it today. Oh my lord, the kefir yogurt was thick, bruv. It was almost like I was eating flipping cheese. Like, it was a really thick consistency. And I'd just taken it out of the fridge. It was cold as well. Flipping wolfed it down because I was running late for work. And yeah, again, could be placebo effect, could be absolutely nothing, but I feel like I feel in and of myself, I was feeling better today. I was definitely feeling more satiated, because there was a lot of stuff in there. I mean, kefir on its own is obviously, it's got a lot of protein in it, and it's quite a substantial breakfast, I'd say. But everything else that was packed in there, all healthy stuff. I feel like I performed, I was just on point, and I felt well within myself. Again, it could be complete placebo effect, it really could be. But I feel like I performed relatively optimally up at work. Not a full optimum performance, but better than I normally do. So, interesting. I'm going to trial this out for a few days, which means I need to actually do this from like now. Fling it in the fridge, have it marinate overnight. On the way to work, these complete and utter bastards. So I got an Uber because I was running late. And as we were coming up to the station, the one road that we took, there's this super narrow road. One of the reasons why just the UK in general pisses me off massively. And this only really occurred to me after I came back from America. I can't remember if it was the first time or the second time, maybe even the third time. But because everything's so huge out in America, namely the roads, one thing that really struck me when I came back again, whether it was first, second or third time, is that you really, after being out there, you really realise how flipping narrow and pokey the roads are over here. Particularly when it gets to a case of you having to get from point A to point B, obviously. But then you get held up because the roads are so narrow and two cars cannot go down at the same time. One has to pull in or flip in reverse or wait or whatever it may be. And we got faced by this because there was this big old van and there's people who are moving stuff, right? They're taking something out of their van. It was a bunch of workers and yeah, they're moving stuff at a very slow pace. And they clearly didn't have a care in the world. There was a bit of a gap, but not enough for a car to go past. So we'd come, and a car had come behind us, so we couldn't even reverse. And there was, I think, a car on like the other side, and my Uber driver had beeped at them, and one of the workmen, typical English guy, just kind of looked at the Uber I was in. And he obviously looked at the driver and he just smiled and laughed. And he said, yeah, about half an hour, mate, about half an hour. He said in a jokey fashion. Bastard. And then I think my Uber driver beeped again and there was another guy who I think had helped get the stuff down. And he just held his arms out like, what? In a kind of very aggressive fashion. Oh, my. And there was a bunch. It was probably about 5 guys as well. Not a care in the world. Now, granted, it was a narrow road, but they really could have moved the van to a more convenient place so they're just not blocking up everyone, but they don't flipping care. Honestly, I really hope karma comes around to each and every one of them. I really hope it does. It pissed me off, man. Eventually, I had to hop out the car because luckily I was relatively close to the station. I was within walking distance, but I was just staring at the time, watching the time tick away, and I was like, you know what? I said to the driver, look, let me just jump out because these lot aren't going to be moving anytime soon. Now, this Uber driver, I'm familiar with him because I do occasionally get him because he lives in the area as well. So I've got him a few times and I know I'll see him again. When I do next see him, I'm going to ask him how long he was waiting there for. Absolute bastards, man. And a lot of these workmen operate like this. They don't care. But thing is, if they were in this position, they'd probably get out and probably cause a scene because they have places to be. I was tempted to hop out, but probably wouldn't have gone well. All it probably would have done was raise my blood pressure and potentially people making threats of violence towards me and all of that jazz. So yeah, I just hopped out of the car and I just went on my way. I cut my eye when I walked past, but they weren't paying attention. So it is what it is. But I hope karma. I really hope karma does its thing for each and every one of them. Let them be rushing somewhere, having to get somewhere promptly, and let someone hold them up. Hopefully another version of them. But anywho, got to work. It's relatively busy today. I got moved. I was on the same floor that I normally am, but I was working in, I guess technically you can class it as a different department, technically. It's a lot more chilled, although it was still very busy. I got a bit of respite, so that was cool. Yeah, all in all, decent day, man, decent day. And then, yeah, came back and I had to speak with someone regarding some union matters, and there's still another person I need to speak with. This case is, yeah, there's a lot going on. Oh, man. So, yeah, had a lengthy convo. We're going to pick things up again on Thursday. So, yeah. Lots going on, man. Lots going on. But, you know what? I actually have to rush. I have to go and get things done. So, oh, shoot. Running out of time. Right. Okay, cool. Look, listen. That's day 1517. I'll catch you tomorrow for day 1518.